Hello there, welcome everyone to Toyah at Home. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're getting ready for whatever the following week is going to bring. It's a crazy, crazy world. But I've been really busy here. Simon Darlow and I are writing away. I'm very excited and I'm just looking for Mr. Frippy, the prog rock king. Mr. Frippy, the prog rock king!
What? What?
I thought you were supposed to be at the gym.
I'm just about to put my shoes off and step across.
Come with me. Come with me. I want to show you something.
Oh, hang on. I'm on the way.
All right. So.
You look beautiful, lovely.
Thank you very much. Follow me, Mr. Fripp. So, I invented a dance this week, and my husband asked me what I was doing. And I said I was doing the prog rock mating dance.
Oh.
So, it goes like, let's hope I can do this. So, you take your husband, and his feet are there, okay? All right, don't worry, don't worry. And this is the prog rock mating dance. So,
Oh.
Stamping on the feet, stamping on the feet,
yes.
Stamping on the feet.
Oh, I like that.
While singing I love you. And then there's another one.
I'm won over.
This is another one.
Oh, you should put your camera down, dear. Let's get a room.
Just stay there.
Clearly it works, dear.
So whenever I do this, my husband says, what are you doing? What am I doing? Look at me, look at me.
What are you doing, dear?
I'm pressing my husband.
Yeah, my wife. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, dear.
And when he does
do you
the
have
washing...
to keep filming, lovey? Or...
Turn round, turn round.
I'm not sure I want to do this.
He's very compliant. So when he's doing the washing
I'm very dominated. Oh!
It's called Squash for Husband. And this is what's keeping us sane. And if anyone is walking outside our house thinking there's normality in here, there's no normality. It's all the prog rock mating dance.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Because I don't know about you, I am going mad this year.
I wouldn't believe that for a moment, dear.
I'll let you go to the gym. I'm going to stop this frivolity now.
Oh.
I'm at the gym at 5 o'clock. I'm dreading it. I love you.
I love you, little wife.
So, this week has been utterly bonkers. There's been so much going on. I was called to ITV in an emergency yesterday because they had a technical breakdown and had to let some stars go on a show. And they phoned up and said, "Are you available?" And I went, "Yeah, of course I'm available. There's absolutely nothing going on. I'm just making an album and releasing all my back catalogue." But it was wonderful. I had an absolutely fantastic day at ITV. And I couldn't take any pictures to show you how they were isolating us. But if you could imagine this huge hangar of a studio with 8 Winnebagos in it to keep us all separate, it was just great. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now. This is our first song of the morning, and excuse our behaviour. This house is mayhem the whole time. We've been locked up in here for so long. Can someone come and rescue us? But the first song is from Trading Boundaries, and it is the wonderful, uplifting Good Morning Universe! Good morning, universe. Good morning, universe. How are you today? Morning, morning, universe. I've been a long, long way. Come with me. You've got to come with me. Open up your eyes and see the intoxicating speed of this neon world can take you far and free. Good morning, universe. How are you today? Morning, morning. It's a jungle, it's a jungle, hopelessly lost. I don't need, I'm crashing smooth in outer space for all the aliens to hear. I've gotta find you in my chariot of fire. I wanna touch you with fingertips in flames. My gears, I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you again and again and again and again. Good morning, universe. How are you today? Morning, morning, universe. I've been a long, long way. Good morning, universe. How are you today? Morning, morning, universe. I've been a long, long way. Good morning, universe. Morning, morning, universe. That was the uplifting Good Morning Universe at Trading Boundaries with our wonderful guitarist Chris Wong, the late great Colin Hines, thinking of you always, Colin, and of course our brilliant bass player Mike Nichols. And Wongy and I are working this week on the re-release of Blue Meaning. We're going to be shooting some live songs. Wongy has been sending me what he's playing via wonderful iPhone, and his playing is so incredible. He can take a complex song like Blue Meaning or Ghosts and make it sound like a whole band when he's on his own. I've not seen Wongy in the flesh since Scarborough, February. So this is going to be so exciting, and we're trying to do it before there's any kind of lockdown. So it's good. It's been a good week. Absolutely frantic. There's so much to do. And ironically, the films that Robert and I do are taking off in such a way. I'm now getting orders from around the world to shoot films for other companies, and I'm loving that. That is so exciting because there's something, because I'm dyslexic, and we'll get onto this with another question I've received today. I think in images, don't think in numbers, don't really think in words. It's all images. So I think it's quite a natural progression for me to kind of think about shooting quirky little films. And I am just about to be announced as the patron of the Derek Jarman Film Award, which is a huge honour, and that's kind of bringing me into the context of young filmmakers as well. I'm not saying that I'll become a filmmaker, but boy, am I loving the opportunity to do these movies, and lockdown has presented these opportunities, which is crazy. So Peter Jones, I want to answer your question. You saw me at Shoreham Rope Tackle a couple of years ago, and the stage is literally 1 foot high there. And I think I remember the seats are slightly gradient, but you said I had to stand on the chair for the whole show so people could see me. So I did the whole show like this, and this is not uncommon. And excuse me, I haven't got tights on. So I have to stand on a chair, and the band, I mean, the heads of the band are there. I mean, I am this short, and I seem to be shrinking. And I did most of the concert on the chair, so people didn't have to crane their necks to see me. And you asked, Peter, are there any unusual venues that I've played in? Well, there's many, many unusual, but one of the first gigs that I did with Joel Bogan was in Essex, and it was called the Crocodile Club. And there was only 3 people there. And it was about 79. And it was a really great gig. These 3 people so wanted to see us. And I think it was a Thursday night. It was cold, it was wintry. And these three people filled the room with joy and noise, and they loved us. So after the gig, we sat down with them, we had drinks, I think we even had a meal, and it was just gorgeous. But answering your question about weird venues, there is a very famous venue in Liverpool, and it's not the Cavern, where there's a running sewer through the venue, and it's an open sewer. So when the Toyah band arrived and we went into the dressing room, there was literally a brick gully in the floor with water running through it. I dread to think what else. And we all stood there and we thought there's only one thing we can do in a situation like this, is have our photos taken with the open sewer. Very rarely do we get those experiences. Sometimes at outdoor festivals, you are plummeted into rather strange circumstances. I remember one in Italy where the audience kind of came in over a walkway over the artists' tents, and we were just being pelted with food. The show was great. And we didn't go hungry, but they were literally just pelting food at all the artists down below them. So there have been some very funny and some very strange situations. And I dare say there will be many, many more. So thank you for that question, Peter. Norma Matheson, you say you adore Lena Lovitch. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful person. Norma says, I was listening to one of her albums recently and was thinking how much I love listening to both of you from the 80s. Have I ever met Lena Lovitch? No, I haven't, but our paths cross a lot. When we were having huge success, late 70s, early 80s, we were always crossing paths on tour. We were in Germany at the same time. And I know that Lena Lovitch worked a lot with Nena of 99 Red Balloons. I think she's worked with Kim Wilde, Nina Hagen, Hazel O'Connor. But we've never actually said, hello, how are you? Or worked together. And that's just, whatever fate has planned for us, we've never actually been in the same room at the same time, but we have been within 6 degrees of separation virtually all the time. I think she's wonderful. I love women who are strong and they keep to their convictions. Norma, thank you very much for that question. Joyce Metcalf, you say you lived in Darlington for 25 years, and obviously, I made a film there exactly a year ago called Give Them Wings, about a Darlington legend, Paul Hodgins, who had meningitis when he was a child and became paraplegic. Now, the remarkable thing about Paul, he's still with us and he's still a huge fan of Darlington FC Football Club. But if he doesn't like the opposition, he will give them hell. And there was stories from his childhood where he got beaten up by opposition fans. And this is what the film is about. And it's also about the fact that he wasn't supported by the system. And when his mother, and I play his mother in the film, Alice Hodgins, when she had a stroke, Paul ended up nursing her, and it was an almost impossible situation. Well, it was hell for him, absolute hell. So you asked Joyce, am I looking forward to the film coming out, and did I enjoy being in Darlington? Because you saw me play Darlington Arts Centre quite a while ago. I think Darlington is absolutely beautiful, and the Arts Centre is stunning. I really loved making the film. We were going for absolute realism. So we were in quite small streets. I wish I could remember the name of the streets, but these beautiful, beautiful attached houses in very uniform rows. We were going for this kind of 1970s look, which I think the film has achieved brilliantly. And I remember the cold, because when you make a movie, and if you're shooting in a real house, very rarely are the windows and the doors closed, because you've got techs coming in and out, setting up the lights, setting up the cameras. So I remember it was very cold. We didn't really have a dressing room. We were all the actors, when we weren't being used, were just sitting on one bed trying to just kind of relax. It was an extraordinary experience, because Paul, being the script writer and the producer, was on site, and he was able to kind of give us a lot of really good information. And I will cherish making that film, because Sean Cronin, the director, really pieced it together like a jigsaw puzzle. And so much time was getting on the lighting right, the styling right, and also how he wanted us to be emotionally in the moment. So it wasn't just about living the lines. It was actually, there's quite a lot of open space within it where he wanted us to be quite broken. So I'm really looking forward to that film coming out, and I'm very grateful as an actress that we made it in Darlington and it was so real. I think it's going to have quite a lovely reaction. It's a beautiful, very true to the heart film. So fingers crossed it can get out there, whether it's streamed or goes into a cinema. Let's see what happens.
Face facts, woman. You're the only person who can fathom out a word he's bloody well said.
That's just me point. The bear needs to speak for himself. That school is not stretching him.
What difference is another school gonna make to him shitting his pants?
Would you like a sweet?
Well, ask him.
Oh, sorry. Would you like a sweet?
Aye. And I'll have a fag as well.
Is there out in there for me?
It's all for your lad again. Doesn't give up, does he?
No surprises there then. At least he keeps you in a job.
Indeed.
You show them damn pigeons more affection than you ever did us. He's your son, for Christ's sake.
If you're gonna go out, for God's sakes, go! Go!
I was robbed of the son I should have had.
You have a son. Isn't it about time you got to know him? Before it's too late. You know, it's hard to tell who's more disabled. You or him.
Bollocks! Get in!
Mum! Mum!
Out with the old, in with the new.
Who's that sing all alone? Who's that sing all alone? Oh, shit. Oh! Leave him alone, you bastards! What happened, Mum?
So either you let my dad take her, or you put her in a bloody home.
I'm Jane, your mum's night carer. Are you gonna keep me on the doorstep all night, Paul?
No. Come in. Nothing, Matt. How's it going? The greatest act that one man can do for another is give them wings.
So Joyce, thank you very much for that question. Now, I've had a very interesting question here from Michael Rumble, and I'm going to read it out to you because I suppose as an actress, I find meaning and different meanings in many things. Saw you performing at Nottingham Pride, and I remember it well. It was on the high street in Nottingham. Outside, it was raining, but we had a beautiful audience, and all the shopkeepers were looking out the windows, and people were cramming into kind of shop doorways not to get wet. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and the people running it were so lovely. So the question is, how have you felt supported by the LGBTQ community in your career? This is such an interesting question because obviously I work non-stop with that community and I see them as friends. So I'm imagining, Michael, your question is a political question. I'm not gay, I'm married, so I feel I have to answer this very carefully. I have always worked with the gay community in acting, in singing. I would say 99% of the community is gay. And in film, it's definitely that way. So I look on all of my gay community and my gay friends as really wonderful, brilliant, creative people who bring creativity into the world, who create beautiful films, beautiful videos, beautiful songs, do wonderful performances. And when you ask me, how do I feel that community supports me, it's never been a question in my life because they've been so much part of my life. I've never had to actively seek support. Does that make sense? They're always there. And when I'm working, they're always there. They are part of my life, my upbringing, my creative process. So I don't really know how to answer that, other than when I do gay prides and say Manchester, Nottingham, Bury, other places, the audience has been phenomenal. And in that way, I feel 100% supported. But politically, I have not been through the hell that community has had to go through to be where they are today. So they have my support and I know I have their love. So I hope that helps answer your question, Michael, because it's a really deep question. Toby Ames. Now, I'm wondering, Toby, if you are Toby Ames, who is the filmmaker. So I'm not sure. I'm going to treat you, Toby, as if you are not the filmmaker. Toby Ames is a filmmaker who has done a brilliant documentary called The Man Whose Head Exploded. Very adult, but quite stunning. And he's also directed 2 years in the life of King Crimson, which is due out next year. So, Toby Ames, you ask Haunted. Now, Haunted is the B-side of the 12-inch of The Vow, along with I Explode. So I got this out in my library. I mean, it's literally got jam marks all over it. I mean, it is so sticky. How on earth did we treat our vinyl back then? So, Toby, you say Haunted is your favourite track, one of your favourite tracks. You find it very personal, or are you reading too much into it, i.e. is it very personal to me? So thank you, Toby. You have allowed me to go back and listen to this track, and it's a very happy time for me because Simon Darlow came back into my life as a key writer and a really, really great friend. We live 30 miles apart. We see each other socially all the time. And this track is so influenced by Simon. And also Joel's playing on it is astonishing. It's so ahead of the style. Yet again, Joel has set a trend with his playing. So you ask, are the lyrics kind of semi-biographical? And probably to some extent they were. When we did The Vow, I'd finished making the Ebony Tower, the movie with Laurence Olivier and Greta Scacchi, which was a fabulously happy experience. And suddenly I was back in grey old England from the Dordogne in France. And I probably just wanting to move up a notch as an adult writer, in that I wanted my writing to go in a new direction. I wanted it to have a more adult theme, and by that I mean a mature theme. I needed to move away from being the punk princess. I was turning 25, or I was 25 turning 26. I just needed to progress. And I think Simon Darlow very much brought that into this session, and his playing is phenomenal. So in Haunted, the words are, and I'm going to read them to you, because I've not heard this song probably for about 30 years. I say yes, you say no, that's the way we feel, then why don't you go? You close so many doors for me, I don't think I will ever find the key. You say you love me, well that's fine. Possessiveness, the sweet imprisonment's a crime. You've taken everything that's mine, what kind of love is this? Watch this. Watching this, you want to hold and kiss. I want to close my eyes and drift away. These are really painful words. And yet when I listen to this song, I think musically it is worthy of being a single. I think I was, coming to the time of a very big breakup after a very long relationship. Is it autobiographical? Well, I think it's dangerous to be autobiographical if you want to part company with people and remain friends and honour the history you've built together. So I think it's kind of autobiographical of the huge change and the huge leap I was about to make, which is very much part of me rather than what life was living. It was part of my change, my breaking away, my evolving. And I think this is an incredibly mature lyric from a time when I was about to meet my husband Robert Fripp, and I was about to literally pack my bags and leave my life as it was, which was a pretty heavy thing to do. I think it's a beautiful song. I think it's very relevant today. I think it's got that gorgeous kind of 80s lilt about it, and I think the backing track, the guitars, the keyboards, and also Andy Duncan on drums and Brad Lang on bass, and we all toured together that particular year. So I think it's a really, really great song. So thank you very much for asking me about that, because it's a song I've not visited for so long, and it's really, really nice to touch upon it again. Now, Ruthie Adamson, you call yourself the wonky wordsmith. So everyone look up Ruthie Adamson, the wonky wordsmith. She's a poet, and she was born with, she says this herself, deformed fingers. And she absolutely adores the words to I Want to Be Free, and they gave her a lot of confidence. And as a teenager, she has vivid memories of these life-affirming lyrics. And she says, thank you. I went from hand hiding to finger flaunting. Ruthie, you ask what song makes me feel comfortable in my own skin. I think it's David Bowie's Jean Genie, because when I heard that, like you being a child hearing I Want to Be Free and always hiding your hands and feeling, you say, a shame about your hands. When I heard Jean Genie, which is about strutting your stuff, about, I think, extreme individuality and standing your ground and just saying, this is me, this is what I do, and this is how I strut. I think Jean Genie was the song that gave me confidence to say, well, actually, I am me, accept everything about me, accept who I am, and if you don't like it, take a hike. So that is the one for me. And you're an award-winning disability activist, Ruthie, and I am so proud to know that I Want to Be Free gave you some inner strength, and now you are super, super confident in your body, because that is what life is about. However nature, the universe, God chose to make us, we all have a right to feel good about ourselves. So I feel good today, Ruthie, knowing that you are in the world. Thank you for that question. Andrew Thompson, you say you were wondering if Trafford Tansy was ever recorded, as you remember it was a show of me singing in a wrestling ring. No, it was never recorded. And you know, it should have been, because it was a huge hit, Andrew. It was absolutely joyous. And if anyone has not heard about this or seen this play, it's about a warring couple in a wrestling ring. And it starts with the character Trafford Tansey as a baby explaining her upbringing, which was close to aggressive and being a bit of a punch bag for those around her, and being told that she would never amount to anything. And then she grows up and becomes a worldwide kind of wrestling champion and takes on her husband in the ring. And dotted through this is wonderful, wonderful music. And the play was by Claire Luckham, great friend of mine, wonderful playwright. And it was just gorgeous performing the show. It was so physical, we could only do one show a day. I had stand-ins for the matinees. It was just impossible to do 2 shows a day. I had to study martial arts. I studied wrestling with the European champion Mitzi Muller. It was great, and it was on stage at the Mermaid Theatre in London at a time, it was 1982, when it was illegal for female wrestlers to wrestle in London. Can you imagine that? So the only reason we could do it was because it was a stage play. For just such a different world back then. So you ask, Andrew, was it ever recorded? Sadly, no. It was probably filmed for many art shows and for many London shows about what's on, but I don't remember it ever being recorded, especially not with me. And wouldn't that have been such a lovely memory to have? Because I was so fit. And for those who don't know, I was making the album Love is the Law, and oh boy, I was just so fit. It was great. Thank you for that question. Now, Carla, you ask, which is my favourite gemstone and why? Well, this is a Swiss blue topaz. So I'm a stone collector. I wouldn't say I'm a gem collector, because I collect very unusual crystals, which you might have seen in my office. This stone I bought in 2013. The stone was 600, and then Luke Goldsmith of Canterbury made the ring for me. And I collect blue stones. So a Swiss blue topaz is not hugely expensive, but since this was made, China has driven the market in precious stones. So for instance, perdido, which is a green stone which used to be worth virtually nothing, is now approximating prices near to diamonds because they're so popular in China. So the other stones I collect are aquamarine, and I like to go for turquoise aquamarine colours. And the reason I like them is stones choose you. You resonate with them. Because basically, all of us, every atom, every carbon in our body has come from the same explosion, the same stardust from the creation of time. So you do resonate with stones. I've even felt myself resonating with pebbles. And that reminds me, there's a pebble I want to show you, and I'll do it next week. It's too heavy for me to run and get now. It's about that big. I've had it since I was 22. I think I picked it up on Lynmouth Beach. And if anyone moves that pebble, if the gardener touches it, I mean, everyone knows, don't touch the pebble. Because I associate the whole of my creation with that pebble, as I do with feeling incredible resonance with this. So blue topaz has a healing quality for the throat chakra, and of course, being a singer, I want to protect that, as does aquamarine. So I am incredibly attracted to the colour blue. So I hope that answers your question, and I hope it's not too weird. You also asked me what's my favourite hair colour, and it would be a mixture of cerise pink and incredibly bright orange. Not neon orange, but the kind of golden glow of the sun orange. I love it when colours contradict or bounce off each other like red and pink, and for me, orange and cerise is one of those colours that creates vibration. And I'll just explain this a little bit more. If you put orange with green, and you do this in a stage context. It's very interesting because it creates an energy in the room that's related to chaos, creative chaos. So often I do this to up the energy in a room, and I get told off for it because the energy can go too far. So putting orange together with green, the energy within a room creatively goes like that. Now you might be thinking what I'm talking about, but sometimes I go into venues where the venue has to be charged. If there's not enough vibrant energy for a rock show, you need to charge it. And you will see I've hidden green and orange about me to create that energy. It's a very powerful one. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for your question. So, thank you so much for your questions. We're going to go out today on Islington O2 with the Toyah band, Be Proud, Be Loud, Be Heard. Now, the reason I was sitting upstairs for this broadcast is so I could see my husband come back from the gym, and he's just coming back now. So bear with me, and I'll keep talking. So I just really want to get him, and I just want to press him against the wall. So he's always a little exhausted when he comes back from the gym because we work really hard at the gym. Here he is. Yeah!
Oh no, it's not the wife, is it?
Press
Doing
the
her
husband.
normal.
Press the prog rocker.
Oh.
Press the prog rocker.
Help.
So everybody, stay safe. Whatever happens this week, just talk to your loved ones, be in contact, don't bottle it up, keep talking. We will see you later on today with Agony Aunts. Can't wait, and I love you, and I love my husband too.
Well, thank you, sweetie. Please be well. Oh, I have to recover now.
This is Be Proud, Be Loud, Be Heard with the Toyah band at Islington O2. Lots of love! This is Be Proud, Be Loud, Be Heard.